Hello, this is Dorothy Smith back again with the World is Yours workshops, and this time it's layout 2, and I will tell you that I had a hard time with this. I got the first 11 minutes, which you'll see, and the rest of it I lost. I don't know where it ended up. I have no idea, but I ended up having to do it over again. So this is when everything was wonderful and nothing had happened yet. So I'm going to show you how I started on page 1 of the layout 2. And so you can see that the pieces are, the words cut out are with the Cricut, and the cutting guide that comes with Cricut Design Space for the World is Yours when you purchase the bundle. And you have to have the Close to My Heart cartridges that are required, which is Artistry, Flower Market, and You Are Here. And then you can get this really cool how-to guide on cutting all these words and the suitcases and everything else that came with and the world, which I'll be coming up doing the last layout in not too long. So the first part is they want you to make a mark along the left-hand side of the white paper. So the Cricut actually cuts off the 1/4 of an inch all the way around the white cardstock along with the letters. And so if you cut at 11.5 inches, you just mark with a pencil, and then you're going to rip that edge. And I ended up, you won't see it here, but I ended up distressing the edge, the white edge here, with espresso ink and a sponge. And so I'm just randomly ripping it. You don't want it to be straight, you want it to be bumpy, and you kind of want to have the kind of the core of the paper showing as you look at it. So you can see, so now if this happened to be a different color of cardstock, what you would see is color on the back side, color on the front side, and a white core of cardstock. So by me doing a little bit of stressing, that core picks up the ink really well and really makes it stand out. So there's my first strip of ripping, and then this comes along, and then you rip it also. So this is going to get attached to the back of the cardstock. So you're going to have a dual layer of ripped paper for the edge. And then on the second page, on the right-hand page, there will be some ripping over there also to kind of tie in ripping on both pages. So kind of, you know, if you want to do something like this on one side, it's good to do it on the other, so you have some continuity and it kind of makes the whole thing make sense. So I'm putting Tombow along the back side of the paper and then laying the strip down and trying to get them kind of lined up. I end up having to trim a little bit off of the top of the little plaid paper, just because it's a little bit longer than the cut piece of white cardstock. So you can do all of your pieces, you can distress them with the espresso ink, and it just gives them kind of an antiqued look. So I took a little teeny strip of one of the background and texture papers, and I'm using my little tiny Close to My Heart stapler. It's kind of a big stapler, but it puts out little tiny staples. Anyway, I'm just folding the little tags so that the stripe is showing up on both sides of the tag, or both sides of the little strip. So I'm folding it in such a way that if I just folded it in half, then you'd have one color on one side and a whole different print on the other. So I'm folding it so that the same print is showing when I lay it down. And so I'm going to attach the little strips of paper with several staples, and then I go crazy, and I've got the staples facing in the wrong direction on one of them. So of course I have to pull out the staples, and then I have like 15 staples in one side because I went crazy. And anyway, there you go. General Dorothy mess. So I'm putting my picture holder on the striped piece of paper, and then the bottom stripe is going to get ripped off also, and so that will show nicely on the espresso cardstock that is its kind of little frame there. See how nice that sticks out? And then the back side of that is going to have some of the peach flowered paper, and it's cut so that it doesn't make the same kind of frame all the way around. It's shorter top to bottom and fatter widthwise, so it sticks out more side to side. So that is going to go on top of the tags. They're going to get tucked behind there. When I watch myself work like this, I look so awkward. It's like, you know, I think you could do things much easier, Dorothy. It's just that I think you're overthinking when you're doing things. Anyway, I'm attaching them, and the what you'll see is when I flip it over, I don't know if you can see it, but the tombow, you can see the tombow is sticking out. So I have to take that one and tuck it under some more, which I will do at some point, which you probably won't see in the video. I think it got cut off. It's one of those things that got cut off. Anyway, so it goes up there. And then this adorable, there's my 12 by 12 sticker sheet. This adorable scooter is going to be the point of interest, as if it needed another point of interest on this little collection. And look, it looks like it's going fast just standing still. How cute is that? So I kind of attach it, and then what I didn't do here is put the silver thread, make 2 loops and put the silver thread on the back side. So here is my crossover where I lost the rest of that video. So this is what that page came out looking like. And you can see the silver thread sticking out above and below. I kind of went nuts on that. And also the little group of what do you call that thing? A suitcase at the bottom with the little group of strips down there. But what I didn't show you to begin with was there is painting that goes behind those areas, that one area of interest with the scooter and the tags. And that I realized that after the fact. And so in the instructions they say to take your watercolors and take a paintbrush, which is what I did. I took a paintbrush and I got some water in a little pudding cup and just started putting a bunch of the brown paint in one of the little wells and some gray paint in another well. And then I take that paintbrush and splatter. So you'll see that. But I'm putting I had to cut another suitcase. So I cut it apart. I put all the little pieces behind the cutout areas. And I'm going to pop up my suitcase. Now I'm not going to completely finish this layout. I'll probably give it to one of my club ladies so they can have a head start on their friends. And so I'm going to go ahead and make a portion of it. I'm not going to put it on another piece of espresso cardstock. The lucky lady who gets this will be able to do that herself. So you can see that it's cut out. So let's see, what am I going to do next? So here's my watercolors, and there's my little pudding cup of water. So I'm going to collect a whole bunch on the paintbrush You know, I'll put a bunch of water in there and then put it over in the well, and then I add some water to the well. And, excuse me. And then I do the same thing with the gray. So the gray will have its own little well. And when I get some of the paint, I kind of mix both colors. So I've got both colors kind of mixed on that paintbrush. So I take the paintbrush and I just tap it, making splatters. And so I'm making splatters here and there. And I'm going to take my clear shimmer brush and I'm going to get some of the brown and gray paint on it and just smush it around. And most of it is going to get covered up, but there'll be little hints peeking out from that cluster that's going to go on top of it. So that's when that cluster will go on top of the area that I just painted. Okay? So you also add the sequins and the scooter and the silver threads there. So that's how that works. And then I'm going to take some of the little tree paper and put it on the back side of Moments. And then Life is going to get a peach color because Life should be peachy. And then I'm going to put the little trees peeking out from Moments. So, which I think is really cute. This is so cute. The genius. Genius of Jennifer. Jennifer genius. Okay, so how cute. Very cute, right? And there's the last thing I didn't do there are the our homemade journaling area. So I'm going to take the cardstock and line it up on my close to my heart mat. And so I'm going to take my ruler and go from line it up so that it's, hits 3 on one side and 3 on the other, and then I know I'm getting a straight line. And then I'm just taking my 1/4 inch mark and going up the line, adding another line every 1/4 inch. And so I wanted some more, so I'm adding a 1/4 inch below and then adding the line, a slightly shorter line. So there we go. I've got my journaling to fill out. I really need to go on a trip. I have to do that. Okay. So I will set that aside. And then what I wanted to show you, that's page 2. That's what didn't make it onto the video. So when I cut the Cricut, I left the second page on the Cricut cutting sheet. And I'm showing you that the cutting isn't just the words, take time to enjoy them, but it cuts off the 1/4 inch all the way around. So it really makes the way she designed it, she's really made it easy on us, so we didn't have to cut a 1/4 inch all the way around. So it's centered. So there's our take time to enjoy them. And let's see, what am I going to do first? So that would also go on the espresso full 12 by 12 background page, so that most of the words will have the espresso color showing up. But time and enjoy are going to have some of the little tree paper, and enjoy is going to have a piece of the peach. So when you're looking at it, it's kind of like enjoy life in peach, which that works, right? So, and I'm using the darker cardstock, the darker side of the cardstock to show, show up the enjoy. So there we go. We've got the time and enjoy colored in, and then the rest of the letters will be espresso. So before my paint dries up, I'm going to splatter some more dots on there. it's really fun to do that. I have to tell you, it's really fun to do that. And then I'm taking my clear shimmer brush and taking some of the gray and some of the brown and smushing. Just making a little smush here. And like I said, like on the other one, not a whole lot is going to show through, but just a little bit, enough to add some interest. So there we go. And the bottom part gets strips just like the left-hand page did. So I'm putting the flowered peach paper, and then also the 1/4-inch strip of espresso. What I wish I had done is put my green thicker piece down first, which of course I didn't. So now I've got to pull up the other pieces and kind of tuck them up, tuck the green under. So did you like how I always do things backwards? Do I drive you crazy? Do I drive you crazy as much as I drive myself crazy? Ah! So life could be so much easier. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, there it is. Good enough. Okay. Then I have a little piece of vellum that just is for adding some interest over the green piece, which that's a name of something, right? Green piece. Okay, so these are my strips of, I think they're 3.5 by 9.5 maybe. Let me double check. Because what you want to do is sort of center them. I put them like an inch down from the top, an inch over. I think I tried to make it an inch over from the right. I don't know that I got it perfectly. I don't think I did. But, you know, if you waited on me to be perfect, you'd be waiting forever. Okay, yeah, it's 3.5 by 9.5. Both of those pieces. So it's getting, and you can see it's a little bit more over to the right than, and I didn't realize that. So I'm just putting about 1/2 inch in between the two pieces. So this is where you're going to see the ripped pieces. So this is going to add the continuity from the left page over to the right page. And I'm just putting these 1/4-inch pieces of the flowered peach cardstock background and texture paper just on the side to add, you know, brighten it up a little bit. And then that striped piece there is one of the 4 that is going to get ripped essentially in half. Those are 1/2-inch pieces. So they're going to get ripped, you know, I mean, it's irregular, so it's not a big deal. But I'm going to rip all 4 of them, and then I'm going to use a sponge and some of the espresso brown ink and sponge those pieces so that you can kind of get an idea of what I did on the left-hand page with the white cardstock and that plaid strip. So there's my 4 pieces, and there's my sponge, there's my espresso ink, and I'm just very lightly distressing them because, see, espresso, because I forgot to show it to you. But because the core of the paper and the cardstock takes up the ink very readily, because it's all fibrous now, so there's a lot for it to cling on to. So it's very easy to just add a little bit of color. And then I'm just going to add my Tombow to the back side and put it right next to the peach cardstock. So, and they're the same length, so you want to just line them up bottom to top. So you can see that the continuity going from left to right with the ripped area, it's just enough interest and just enough that takes you from the left side to the right side. And then I stuck the page to the other page because there was Tombow on the other side because I'm silly. Okay, so that's basically it. So there's some elements that I already used from my 12 by 12 sticker page, And that liked is one of the elements, and it's actually one piece. It's a triangle with liked on it that was cut crookedly, I might add. And the liked went on top with a couple of sequins, and then the triangle kind of points to time, coincidentally. And I'm taking the silver thread, and I don't have another paper airplane. And so I'm going to take a larger foam dot. I start off with a small one, but it's too small to grab all the threads. So I'm getting one of the little bigger dots and putting it on the bottom of the thread, and then just sticking it down on that strip area. And then I have to go searching for and I'll put the sequins down too, because that's easy. They were right there. Then I have to go searching for the sticker sheet because I couldn't find it. And I just I was searching for the sticker sheet just to show you that element comes from the sticker sheet. And I found it. And then I saw this cute little bike. And I thought, well, shoot, I could put the bike on top of that little foam dot, because it's also used for traveling. You know, the little plane and the little bike. So I didn't really see anything else that I wanted to use to make up for that liked. So anyway, that's it. That's not everything, because it's not stuck onto the background of the cardstock, the espresso cardstock, but I think you get the idea. So that's what it looked like originally, and that's how it's supposed to look. And you know, I'm sorry that I had to do it over a second time, because it really slowed me up as far as putting out this video. But you know what? I decided I really needed to cut it out instead of just explaining everything to you. I thought that would have been too boring for me to just explain everything. This way you got to see the paint splattering and making a journaling area. So thank you so much for watching, and oh well, you know, so you win some, you lose some. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.